Chicago new on SportsCenter. Here's head coach Sean McVay.
Wow, what a great job by our group finding a way. I thought our defense was outstanding. Thought special teams made the plays that they had to make, and then offensively, I did not do a very good job for our group tonight, but I thought our guys were able to overcome it. I thought we were able to be at our best in the most important moments, be able to string together some drives, but you give them credit. I thought Coach Allen and those guys did a good job. The weather was a factor just for both teams in terms of just being able to throw and catch. You guys could see that, but the way that game went into overtime, I just love this resilience and the resolve of this group where, man, we start off, you feel like you're getting a little bit of momentum. I make a terrible 3rd down and 1 call. No excuse for that. Should have used the timeout. They did a good job of having a good call on there, and then we got to punt it out. And I thought our defense, they just made them snap it one more time. It looked like they were getting themselves close to field goal range, and what a freaking play by Cam Curl. I thought our defense came up time in and time out tonight. And then offensively, to be able to make those plays, to be able to get back into field goal range, I thought was big. I thought Matthew did a great job of finding Colby early in that drive to be able to get up the sidelines for the first down. Devontae makes an unbelievable catch on the sideline. And then I thought the 3rd and 6 conversion that Nakua had, we took the timeout, didn't like the look. Matthew finds him, and he's so strong, and then we were able to get a few more yards, and then Mevis punches it in, and so hell of a deal right there. But a lot that we can learn from. I'm just really proud of this football team and the resolve. It served us well.
Yeah, in other words, full team effort by Sean McVay's Rams as they go on the road again, get the win in overtime over the Bears, 20-17. Now they are in the NFC Championship game for the first time since that 2001 season. Joining us now here on SportsCenter is Kyren Williams. He had 2 touchdowns for the Rams in that win. And Kyren, your coach just said he was proud of the team's resilience. When you hear that from your coach and you think about how this game played out, how was that resilience able to solidify itself for you guys to win this game?
It was on full display. It started with the weather and everybody talking about, the Rams can't come play in the cold. And then we went into overtime, and then we had to continue to keep showing and fighting through that adversity and that resilience to show, man, we really built for anything that comes our way. And we talk about that in the meeting room each and every single day, being built for it. And that's exactly what we showed through that resilience.
As a fan watching the game, Kyren, the emotions going back and forth were immense. And I didn't really care who won the game, all due respect. Yeah. But I wonder from your standpoint, you go up, you have a chance to win, and then Caleb Williams makes that ridiculous throw that sent it to overtime. How are you guys absorbing all that emotion?
Man, it was a great play by them, but we got to continue to keep the mindset of the next play. If we got the opportunity to go out there and continue to keep playing ball and continue to keep going to win this game like the opportunity presented it for itself today, we just got to continue to keep believing and going to the next play. He made a great play and allowed them to be in the game, but we just continue to keep knowing who we are, believing in ourselves, and just continue to keep going to that next play.
Yeah, when you guys got to overtime, there was a huge play by your defense to give you the ball back, and you guys go down and score. Yeah. And Tim Hasselbeck and I were talking about the influence that Matthew Stafford can have in that moment. Give us an idea how that manifests itself for the rest of you guys when you know that your guy has been there before and he's likely to do it again.
Yeah. Man, it creates a belief amongst the whole squad. Definitely amongst the offense, but it creates a belief throughout the whole team that, Matthew at number 9, he's going to go get that done. He always has, and he's always proven true to that. I remember last week when we were going in, driving against Carolina, I remember saying, man, we got the best person in the world to lead us where we're going to go get to. And, he did exactly that, and he continues to keep showing. So, trusting and believing in 9, man, because he's got it all. He's got it all figured out, locked down, and, great command.
All right, so now you got to go on the road to try to punch your ticket to the Super Bowl. Obviously, you know the team very well who you're going to be playing. Your initial thoughts on the matchup here with Seattle?
I'm excited for it. It's going to be a big-on-big matchup. It's a team that we see, we've already seen twice this year. So we got to just continue to learn from what we did last time and continue to keep being who we are. I think that if we stay connected and we stay true and play the game that we know how to play, man, we're a really good team. So I got faith and trust and belief in all my teammates to go out here this week to have a great week of practice and a great week of preparation to go in, to Seattle and have a great game.
Hey, have game, will travel could be the motto for this squad right now. You got 2 wins on the road. You got to go do it again for a 3rd time to get to the Super Bowl. But that one would be in California if you can get that win. Kyren, appreciate the time, man. Congratulations.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, big boy effort there from Kyren Williams. He scored those 2 touchdowns for the Rams in regulation. Again, on the ground. That's tied for the most in a playoff game in franchise history, believe it or not. He mentioned his leader, Matthew Stafford. That's his 55th game-winning drive in the fourth quarter or overtime in his career. So again, Tim, you have that guy under center. You have a lot of confidence with what's going to happen. But let's go back to that defense, though, because they made a play to get him the ball so he could go win the game.
Yeah, and you hear Sean McVay talking about it in the play that he made. It's really a remarkable defensive play with some miscommunication by the offense. When you look at what Chicago's trying to do, they're going to chip the edge rushers with a tight end in the back. And they're doing that because obviously the Rams have tremendous edge rushers. They were giving them trouble most of the night. Now, Burden is going to run an isolation route to Caleb Williams' right. And the receivers to the left that you can't see, you're going to have a clear out, and then you're going to have kind of a deep over concept whose angle, is going to be able to adjust. And so as we play it forward, and you give it a stop right here, you get to see what Caleb Williams is doing. He is looking initially in this direction. That's his initial eye focus. Now, when you look at it, you can just see, how Burden is getting jammed up. And so as he gets jammed up, you're going to see Caleb Williams come off of it. So right at this point, because of the underneath coverage, his depth, the ball probably, if you're not being aggressive, should come to the flat right there. But instead, Caleb gets his eyes back to the middle of the field. And with a middle of the field safety, he's thinking, okay, this inside clear route should pull it out. And now this over route, I can throw across the field. Now, the angle of the over route, I think, is what gets distorted because as you stop it right here, as he's getting ready to throw the football, you can see that curl is already getting ready to drive on that route. So if a guy's going to drive on the route, then this ball needs to be really flattened, and you're just going to see the angle that Moore takes is not the angle that Caleb Williams is thinking he's going to take. That's why Curl's able to cut him off. So, listen, it's a huge play of the game. And I do think this, just even hearing McVay talk, hearing Kyren Williams talk. Yeah, Stafford gives hope to the offense when you get the ball back in that moment. I think there's an element, too, in terms of having leadership and experience that transcends just one side of the football.
Right. That
the defense is like, no, you know what? Like, yeah, there was a 3 and out, but if we get a stop here, we're okay. Like, we're in this fight here. And when you have that, Cam Curl steps up and makes a play like that.
And give them credit as well, because even before they got to that play, there were a couple of huge fourth downs that they stopped the Bears on that kept them in the lead, and here we are. They're going to the NFC Championship game. We're going to hear from Caleb Williams when we return to read this storied franchise put the Bears in overtime against the Rams, but after they traded a couple possessions, it was Harrison Mevis from 42 yards away to win the game for the Rams, 20-17. LA headed back to the NFC Championship game. Here's Sean McVay on his kicker in that moment.
I felt really confident, Nate. Obviously, since Mevis has been in there, and really, you talk about Jake and Ethan, I think that whole operation has been really good. We obviously only had the one miss that was at at Seattle the last time we played him on that Thursday night, but a lot of confidence in him. And it was nice, too, because it was like, all right, the football gods are smiling on us. The weather had calmed down. There wasn't a lot of wind right there. And so I said, after that fourth down conversion, can you guys believe they made that play right there? That was unbelievable to man, I'm up here by myself, huh? You guys aren't even participating at all. But I was really happy for him, Nate, and I was very confident that he would make that. I'm really excited because I can dive into this and I can be better for us, and we'll have to be against a phenomenal defense next week. But guys just kept battling. They kept believing, and that's what it's about. There's no style points. It's about being able to survive and advance, and we were able to do that in a tough, hostile environment, and it was cold today.
It was cold, but that Rams defense gave a pretty hot performance as they helped LA get to the NFC Championship game. We're going to hear more reaction. We're going to hear from Ben Johnson. He's coming to the mic very soon, as is Caleb Williams. But right now, though, we got to take you back to what happened in the